ERAP had launched the Bingo 2 ball, which was to be legally operated by the PAG Corps. The Bingo 2 ball became a threat to the illegal numbers game operated by the gambling syndicates controlled by Sing Son, who relied on them for the funds that he would use to replace the billions he had siphoned off from the tobacco excise tax. ERAP's detractors immediately rode on the false charges presented by Sing Son. Big business. The church elite. The syndicates in the AFP and PNP, who feared extermination under Estrada's anti-corrupt campaign, along with their minions in media, joined forces against President Joseph Estrada. They blew up Sing Son's false charges against ERAP. They chose to believe every word of the corrupt Sing Son. Anybody but ERAP was the call of Cardinal Sin when Joseph Estrada was still running for president. And it looked like there was a chance Cardinal Sin would have his wish come true. With the emergence of Sing Son. Sing Son, who lives like a king with his mansions and various land holdings and a lavish lifestyle that couldn't be accounted for by his measly salary as a provincial governor. ERAP allowed the legal process to take its course. The impeachment trial began. But the elite conspiracy to oust the father of the masses was already in place. The opposition at the time alleged that incriminating evidence was contained in the second envelope, which was the center of controversy in the impeachment trial. When the majority of the senator judges voted to exclude the second envelope, it was not part of the formal complaint.
The no vote have it.
The prosecutors walked out like sore losers, thus halting the impeachment trial. Chief Justice Hilario Davide did not so much as hold them in contempt for the walkout, which turned out to be a signal for the power grab to begin. The church elite, big business, and the politicians under their influence, along with some shady elements in the PNP and AFP, closed ranks against ERAP. The EDSA Shrine became the center of their protest activities, which ERAP refused to suppress. The media went full blast, demonizing ERAP. In a few days, the power grab conspiracy succeeded.
We have to proceed to EDSA to administer the oath on the Vice President as acting President.
In all humility, I accept the privilege and responsibility to act as President.
As acting President.
To act as President.
To avoid violence, ERAP decided to move out from Malacanang along with his family. But he never ever suggested that he was going to resign.
I will not resign.
The power grabbers took advantage of the confusion and illegally swore into office Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. The Constitution provides that a sitting president can only be replaced if he resigns, dies, gets incapacitated, or gets convicted after being impeached. None of these four conditions existed at the time. Clearly, the Constitution was violated to remove the father of the masses who had been a threat to the interests of the conspirators. Evidence would later turn up to prove that Gloria Arroyo had long been hatching a conspiracy to oust ERAP.
Maybe I should tell my version of some of the untold stories, especially with regard to the military. And now that it can be told, I think I should mention who they are. That group that I was meeting with since January was made up of General Larry Mendoza and Colonel C.P. Garcia and retired General Vilor. Art Carrillo, and he's right there. General Espinosa, whom everybody knows is my dear friend, and Stein is there too. General Braganza. And actually, Boyce is another friend of mine.
In an interview by Nick Joaquin of Gloria's husband, Mike Arroyo, for the Philippine Graphic magazine, Mike Arroyo admitted that they had planned to remove ERAP as early as the first year of his presidency. Leftist leaders like Saturo Campo also admitted that they had linked up with the Arroyo conspiracy to unseat ERAP. Legal luminaries and the international community criticized and condemned the ouster of ERAP. According to Justice Cecilia Munoz Palma, chairman of the 1987 Constitutional Commission, the 1987 Constitution suffered. This happened when the ongoing impeachment trial of President Joseph Estrada was unceremoniously disrupted and discontinued, and the issues on hand were brought to the Parliament of the streets. The rule of law was set aside, and the rule of force prevailed. Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's senior minister, the change of power in the Philippines was no boost for democracy because it was done outside the Constitution. Time magazine, People Power 2 was swift justice indeed. As in a lynching, it repudiated the very essence of due process enshrined in the Constitution. International Herald Tribune, Till Bowring. However, far from being a victory for democracy that is being claimed by leaders of the anti-Estrada movement, such as Jaime Sin, the evolution of events has been a defeat for due process. New York Times, Seth Mydans. This time it appears people power was used not to restore democracy, but momentarily to supplant it. Asia Times, editorial, Philippines, Banana Republic, at best. Again, therefore, whatever curious legal construction anyone may now attempt to put on the ouster of Estrada, he was ousted by a military coup with the connivance of the leadership of the Roman Catholic Church, major business groups, and two former presidents. This will have any number of consequences none too pleasant for the coup makers and